All right, so welcome everybody. Today we're going to work on balance on the cheap. So I got a lot of stuff here that is just basic stuff you might find around the house that you can do while we're in the lockdown, or just for fun later. You've got the balloons and balls. I've got a dice, some tissue, some cups. I bought this oven mitt at the dollar store. You get two, so I'm using one for the oven, one for my balance work. I got some paper cups, plastic cups, paper. We're gonna put some numbers on the paper, that sort of thing. So these are all the sort of things that you could have ready at your disposal. So if you're in the class right now, don't worry, we'll pause briefly so you can get some of these things from time to time, because we're gonna start with just simple balancing. I'd like you to see if you can just balance on one foot. So you really should be able to balance on one foot for at least 5 to 6 seconds. Now my test for seniors at the club, just because I know that average people can often balance for at least 30 seconds. So if you can't do 5 to 6 seconds, you're really in trouble. You need to work on it because you want to be able to step and hold for a second, that sort of a thing. All right. So go ahead and just give it a test, see if you can balance for 5 seconds. Excellent. Try the other foot. So you can also make a baseline out of this. Try to just see how long you can balance. So you might test yourself later, see how long you can go. If it's 20 seconds, maybe you could try to set a goal to 30 seconds. All right. So let's start with a little movement. We're just going to go forward and back, rocking. So I'm kind of just rocking on my heel to toe. You might have a wall behind you if you're worried about falling back. But working the ankle mobility is important for balance. We're mostly just warming up right now, just kind of getting warmed up a little bit. It's a great way to warm up, but it's also a good exercise. A few more of those, maybe about 15 of them. Start to warm up the legs and feet. We're mostly just going to have the chair around, mostly for balance. So you always want to have something around just in case. And some of these walking drills, if you have a cane or something like that, you can use the cane while you're doing them too. Let's go ahead and try that single leg balance again. Now that you're a little more warmed up, see if it's even better. See how long you can go. Keep trying too. If you lose your balance, just pick it back up. Notice I also have my kickstand here, just in case. I can touch there, or I can touch on the chair. All right, let's try the other side. I'm giving you about 30 seconds or so to test it out. About another 10 seconds. Keep going. Keep trying. If you lose it, just get back up and relax. That'll warm those muscles up too. Let's rock the feet forward and back. If you're good without holding on, you can also do the arms, whatever works best for you. Maybe reaching up. Just be careful. All this stuff that we're doing, you want to make sure to be careful. Don't overdo it. Keep a wall close by or a table close by if you need to. Excellent. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is you could find maybe a letter around the house or a book that's maybe not so thick. I'm going to use this for another thing in a second. But I was thinking even just a letter or a block, like a piece of wood, would be good too. And what you're going to do is you can practice that single leg balance. And you're just going to have this on the top of your head and try balancing the book or whatever else you got. Could be anything, while you balance yourself as well. Very nice. Get creative. Now, the one thing I want to say is don't want to have too heavy of a book and don't let it fall on you. That's why I like to use the letter. You can see there. Pull it up a little bit more. Let's try the other foot now. Excellent. Just balancing there. And obviously different things would be harder to balance maybe on your head, so you might try different things. How about a paper cup? Maybe trying that even. Get your dunce hat on. Maybe we're at a birthday party. They didn't put straps on these cups. We got to balance them the whole time. That's a good one, actually, the paper cup. Let's try the other foot again. You can see how it really can dramatically change things. You lose your balance just a little bit, that cup starts to sway. Excellent. Nice job. So balancing with things on your head. All right, we covered that. Let's go ahead and move on to getting my big book out, or a block might be good. Again, what you can do now is you can just step on it and work the balance that way as well. Let's go ahead and try it for about 30 seconds each side. You don't have to do the book. You could also use a towel. So whatever you got. Towel's good too. But just balancing on something that makes you a little less stable. You could also use like a mat. We got this yoga mat here. Just standing on the yoga mat. It could be both directions. Go ahead and switch feet if you're standing on one foot, just while I'm showing you here. It could be both feet on one mat like this. Be careful though, you might have a wall close by or a chair. All right, give yourself another 20 seconds on that other foot. Hopefully you've switched. Good posture. Posture is good for your balance. Excellent. Nice job, everybody. I'm going to move my chair back for now, and I'm going to use my tape that I have here. Hopefully you can see I've got tape on both sides of the room here. So I got a tape over here and a tape over here. I'm actually going to use this one right here that I laid out, not the one that's angled. And now I'll use this one. All right. What we're going to do is talk about gait. Gait analysis. Let me just get my notes here. So the idea is that you want to be able to walk at about 3 miles per hour. And so if you do the math, that'd be 4.5 feet per second. And so what I've laid out here is a 9-foot distance. Ideally, you want 18 feet, but I don't have that much space right here. But I could do it at a different angle. You know, it's just for the sake of showing you. But anyway, you'd want to have 18 feet. I imagine you can find 18 feet in your house. Oh, and one other thing I should mention on a lot of these things, it's maybe better to do it on hardwood floor rather than carpet so you don't trip, but just be careful that you don't trip. So the point is that you would walk from one line to the other. So since I only have 9 feet, I'm going to walk forward and then I'll walk back. I'll walk forward, turn around, walk back. Now, obviously, the turning around adds to it. You'd want to do the 18 feet and see how far you go. The idea is that you want to be able to go 18 feet in 3 or 5 seconds, ideally 4 seconds at least, all right? And that would bring you up to 3 miles per hour. And so that's a way to test to see if you have a 3 miles per hour walking span or walking gait, all right? Go ahead and just think about 9 feet. You don't have to have the tape. Just think about what 9 feet is, or if you have 18 feet, you could also measure it out. Just step a few. A lot of times I'll use the paper because we know that that's about 11 inches. Just measure it out as you go. So the idea here is just keep walking, go ahead and practice it. See how fast you can walk is kind of the concept. I'm still just warming you up a little bit, getting us going. We got to do some chair squats here in a second. So you might count in your head. I'm going to walk 2 times or forward and back and see how much I got. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see it's a speed walking drill. It's not a slow thing, and you actually have to walk pretty fast to make it 3 miles per hour. So it's not just a slow walk, it's an actual drill to try to get yourself walking a little bit faster. All right, excellent. Move on to some more ladder type stuff. So this is all just different tape drills that you can do. You could get your tape out later and just kind of set it up. But for now, you could also just imagine it. So I have a little ladder here with it's not really a ladder so much, but I guess it is. And what I want to show you is I kind of like the angle concept. The angle concept is actually so that you go wider as you go. And so again, my ladder is not that long, but you could make yourself a longer ladder. And so then I could start from wider and go to narrower. The other thing you could do is actually extend the line longer so that you go longer to narrower and then start to do maybe like a tandem walk. So let me cover the tandem walk for a second on this line. So like a balance beam, you would just take your line and walk the line. And you could go forward and back with that as well. For now, you don't have to have the tape. Maybe just imagine it. Good. So let me just imagine now that I got my V here. I'm starting wide and I'm coming in, and then I start to have my line at the end that does a little balance thing. Great way to do it. A couple other things about the ladder. There's so many things you can do. What I'd like you to do first is practice the narrow to wide and just kind of go forward and back. So I'm even just going to imagine mine here. I'm going wide and then narrow and then tandem and I'm back. Going wide, out. You get the idea? So you can use these ladders for a lot of different things. They don't really recommend the ladders that you buy and stuff that you lay on your floor. So tape's even better. You won't trip on it. All right. A couple more things on the ladder is like if you want to actually make a whole ladder, you could do the out, out, in, in. That's always a good one. Out, out, in, out, out, in. And you can go backwards too. Just watch yourself. A lot of stuff you can do with the ladder. You could do a shuffle, both feet in, both feet out. Just come up with things. Alternate each step, that sort of stuff. Okay, so there's your ladder drills with your tape. Definitely a cheap way to work your balance. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. We're going to talk about the balloon, or the ball actually. So get your ball. And you could always just roll up some socks or whatever for these drills. But basically all you're going to do is a sit, stand, toss. So we're going to stand, go ahead and toss it and sit, toss it and stand, toss it and sit, and coordinate with yourself. You know, you might be able to toss and stand right as it's in the air, or you might want to toss it, catch it and stand. But however this exercise works for you, just stand and toss. All right, toss, stand, toss, sit, toss, stand, toss, sit. So let's do about 10 of these, however it works for you. Working those squats at the same time. Excellent. All right, good enough. That's all I'm going to show you with the ball for today. We do a lot with the ball. So let's go ahead and move on to the balloon. All right, now if you don't have a balloon, you could use your ball for now. Couple things about the balloons. One thing that I've learned is that how high you pump them up makes them different. So this is a lot easier to push up and it doesn't come back down as fast, whereas this small one tends to come down a lot quicker. All right. So the first thing you could do Figure out what size you want your balloon to be. But you could also do this kind of with your ball probably. But the first thing we do is that single leg balance again, and just kind of trying to keep the balloon up in the air. Again, this big balloon's a lot easier, so that would be the way to go if you have less balance. And then I'll try the other side with the other balloon. So looking good. Very nice. Once again, you can do the ball. It's probably going to be a little harder. Let's see what the ball feels like. You just can't bounce it as much, but it's definitely harder. I like the little balloon. It's nice and challenging. And this could be done so many different ways with the balloon. You could do the up to the balls of the feet. Just be careful. But just taking your challenging balance drills and just challenging them with a little balloon action. All right. All right. Next one, we're going to get out some gliders, or if you have furniture movers, where you put these underneath your furniture and you move them. They actually have cheap Chinese things on eBay these days, and they have both sides. One that's fabric and one that's plastic. So plastic's for the carpet, fabric's for the hardwood floor. So I'll put my fabric down, and then I have a slider. All right. Now, if you don't have one of those, you could do a rag, or like I got an oven mitt thing there I picked up from the dollar store. Actually got two of them, one for balance, one for the kitchen. And same kind of thing, works for sliders. All right, we're gonna do some balance exercise with these. So see what you got. You know, even if you have carpet, paper works too. That's another thing I want to point out. You could take a piece of paper, just the same. That's part of why I've got my towel out here, just to show you. So if you have carpet, same thing, sliding on that carpet. Okay? So just get what you got, and we'll work it a few times. We're going to start with some donkey kickbacks. So you're just going to kick back and forward. Now you can try not to hold on, but keep your hand there if you need to, but just kicking back and forward. So you can do about 10 of those. Range of motion too, see how far you can go. You can turn this into more of a lunge if you're advanced. You see? Oops. Doesn't work so much without the thing on your foot. But you can turn this into more of a lunge if you're more advanced, working your leg muscles. Or just work your balance and take it back and forth. Excellent. All right, let's try the other side. And what we're going to do is do a side kick, just out to the side. Working that balance. Again, it could be a side lunge, but probably not want to do too much of that. It's up to you. Great way to do your lunges, actually. I'm not counting too much, but I'm doing about 10 of them. Excellent. Let's try the other side. I like to have that chair close by for these things. Out and in. And while you're doing that side, I want to show you another option. The old paper plate. The paper plate's always been good. I've been doing this one for years, but you just, like if you have carpet, you can go in and out on the carpet. Again, it's just paper, same kind of concept. All right, go ahead and just set your stuff down there, roll your hips around, and just relax for a second. Grab a drink of water, take a little breather, and I'll tell you that the next one is going to be paper or sticky notes. Okay, so next drill we're going to do I've got numbers on papers, and basically we're going to do a little shuffle drill with them. I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You could even mix them up and make the drill harder, but we're going to stick with them in order to start with. All right. So just realize that I got 1 over here, 2 here, 3 here, and 4. All right. The game is that you're going to shuffle and tap the number that I call out. So if I call out number 4, you're going to shuffle towards number 4 and tap it. Now, if you're shuffling to this side, you're going to tap with the foot on this side. If you're shuffling to the other side, tap with the same foot towards the direction you're shuffling. So if you shuffle left, tap with your left foot. If you shuffle right, tap with your right foot. All right? So I'm just going to call out some numbers. You can always make it a little bit wider to make it harder, or a little bit more narrow to make it easier. Make sure you have all your other junk out of the way so you're not tripping over it. So I'm going to call out the number, and here we go. Number 3, 1, 4, 2, 2, 3. Excellent. You get the idea. Now what I'm going to do is make you think a little bit more, and I'm going to call them out in a sequence. All right? 2, 4, 3, 1. 2, 4, 3, 1. You can see it even gets more fun if your paper starts moving. All right, I'll call out another sequence. 3, 2, 4, 1. 3, 2, 4. Excellent. All right. I'm just going to keep calling out a few more so we can play the game a little bit more. 4, 1, 3, 2. Right, let's do 1 or 2 more. Hopefully you're enjoying this. All right, here we go. 4, 2, 3, 1. Excellent. All right, nice job, everybody. So that's the side shuffle game. It could be done similar with cups as a seated twister, and I wanted to show you that as well. So let's you can imagine that these, actually I'll have to do it here. You can imagine that these are cups. So if you have cups, it's even better probably because they're up a little bit higher. So I'm going to get my chair out for this. You can do this standing too. Now if you have more, because with the class here today, we've asked them to add more. Just to make it a little different here, we're going to add a 5 and a 6. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now I've got my dice here, and we can play a little dice game. So all you're going to do is go left and right. You're going to touch the paper or cup of the number that comes up on the dice. 2, 4, 6, 5, 1, 1, 1, 3, 6, 5. All right. That's pretty simple. Let's add a sequence type of thing to it. Here we go. So we'll do 6 sequence. You got to remember all 6, and you're going to alternate the feet that touch. Okay? So here we go. 4, 5, 3, 6, 1, 2. And that's it, seated twister. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 5, 6, 4, 1. Another one. 2, 5, 4, 6, 3, 1. Just another way to play. Now you could add the twister. That's kind of basically the twister aspect, but you can add it with the cups too, or a different color. You can use colored cups, and then you could also be rolling a dice or picking colors. All right. Let's go ahead and put the paper away, and we're going to pull out the cups. So what we're going to do is talk ambulatory drills. And first of all, let's talk about that single leg stand with the cup. All right, so you're going to stand again. And all you're going to do, maybe my purple cup's even better. All you're going to do is touch the cup there while you stand. All right. Now, the good thing about plastic cups is that they don't make you fall so much, whereas like a hard cup could be a problem or an issue. You usually just end up crunching your cup. What we're going to do is try to balance and stand there. And this is, again, a kind of test. See what you can do. Good. Let's try the other side. It's going for about 20 seconds. Keep going about 10 seconds there. Okay, so then what we're going to do is switch feet, and we're going to work ambulatory drills. We're just moving. You're going to try to move your hands up and down. One hand one way, one hand the other. Try going this way. In and out. And then just switch feet. So moving the arms in multiple directions while you've got your foot up there on the cup. Alternate hands. Both hands up, down. In and out. So just any direction you come up with. And up and down. Excellent. All right, we're just going to finish with a few more cup drills and then we'll close up. I want to show you some different drills you can do. They're kind of like the ladder, some agility type drills that you can do with the cups. All right, hopefully you can see these cups. Now they're kind of clear. Actually, for the sake of being able to see it, I'm just going to use my sticky notes here, and then we can go from there. So, put a sticky note there, one here. I'll have to move this down, I guess. So what you're going to do is lay your sticky notes or cups out just a few feet apart from each other. Now, again, based on your experience and what you can do, you can make them further apart if you want. I'm making them short probably for the video. All right, so hopefully you can see these lines here. And there we go. So first one would be around and around, where you're just going to go around all of your cups or sticky notes, around all of them. These are things you can do in your house. You know, walking in your house is kind of boring, but if you come up with a different way to do it, maybe that'll help. All right, now you go around and around both directions. And maybe I'll even put some cups over my sticky notes. Keep going around and around. And I'm going to do that because I would like to have those cups too. Boom, boom, boom. Now I got cups too. All right, so let's go with weaving. That's a pretty obvious one, where you go weaving around all these cups and then coming back through like so. Those are all pretty obvious, I suppose, but one I really kind of like is the shuffle, where you're going to go over the cup. That's why it helps to have the cups. A lot of these are pretty good, really work for balance. So the thing is, you can get as creative as you want. Don't just follow these different ones, come up with other ones. Good, and then we got the over and over, so I go over each cup. Now, you might not walk in a straight line, or you might really keep your feet right together in line. And that'll really work your balance. So things to do while you're at home bored, in the lockdown, or just for fun later on in the day, in days when things get better. You can always work different versions of the different things. Make sure you go both directions. Good. So I got one other one I want to show you real quick. Actually a couple. Yeah, this is your last one, then we got one final. Keep a cup around though. The last one I want to show you is a zigzag. You can kind of set your cups up in a zigzag fashion, sort of a thing. If we can see these. Like so. And then what you're actually going to do is touch the cup. Touch. And then zigzag over to the next one, touch. Zigzag over to the next one, touch. Zigzag over to the next one, touch. And then touch. Now again, mine are pretty close together. You'd want to get them further apart. These are great things to do outside, maybe in the driveway, but just don't hurt yourself. I'm not sure about all that, but you can find a place to do it outside too. All right. So again, zigzag touch, boom, boom, boom. All right. All right. I think that pretty much finishes it. I got one more final for all of us, and we're gonna unmute for this one. All right, so the last one is the cup stomp, the most enjoyable one of them all. And I've unmuted you all so that you can do the cup stomp with me. Hopefully you have your cup handy. And all we're gonna do is stomp the cup at the same time. All right, everybody ready? Got your cup ready? I wanna hear you too. We're gonna say cup stomp. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, cup stomp. All right. Nice job, everybody.